Bangladesh and also the learned advocate of the Supreme Court, Mr. Manzil Murshid, Honorable guest speaker, leading lawyer and pioneer of PIL on environment in the region, Mr. Mahesh Chandra Mehta, Honorable Mr. Justice Shamsuddin Chaudhry, Honorable Judge of the Appellate Division of the Supreme Court, Mr. Basit Mojumdar, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, Professor Mesbah Kamal, Mr. Dr. Abu Nasir Khan, Honorable Members of Human Rights and Peace for Bangladesh, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Additional Attorney General, media representatives, learned advocates of the Supreme Court, and friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor and immense pleasure for me to be present here this morning, joining this seminar on the role and importance of public interest litigation to ensure rights of the citizen, organized by the Human Rights and Peace for Bangladesh. I would like to thank Advocate Manzil Murshid, President of HRPB, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to be here this morning. I must say that being present in the Supreme Court auditorium brings back very fond memories for me, as I have been involved in the Supreme Court and practiced as a lawyer for 15 long years before I took up the position in the government. So it is always a pleasure to come back to the Supreme Court premises and also to the auditorium, which is almost like home to me. I would also like to thank the Human Rights Peace for Bangladesh, the organization and its members, for their role in promoting the cause of public interest and human rights and their dynamic contribution in this field. It is indeed a very special pleasure to welcome the renowned jurist, Mr. M.C. Mehta from India, a leading lawyer, having received international recognition for his role in making public interest litigation instrumental in vindicating the right to environment. I would like to specially congratulate Mr. Mehta for his significant contribution in building jurisprudence in environmental sector through public interest litigation. As we pay tribute to Justice Krishna Iyer, Justice Bhagwati, Upendra Bakshi, and many more for their role to pave the way for public interest litigation, it is also very interesting, and I am confident that Mr. Mehta's visit to Bangladesh will bear immense significance for him, as he will also take back very enriching experience of how public interest litigation jurisprudence has grown and flourished in Bangladesh with its own distinctive features. And as we remember the judges of the Indian jurisdiction, Supreme Court, Krishna Iyer, Bhagwati, as I mentioned, Mr. Mehta can compare how the honorable judges of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh have made bold pronouncements to uphold fundamental rights and the Constitution. Bangladesh manifests vibrant judicial activism, and thrust of it is to protect the people and their rights. And we are proud of the jurisprudence that Bangladesh has built in this arena. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with our own Constitution. Constitution of 1972. Fundamental rights are enshrined in Part 3 of our Constitutional. Judicial review is Article 102. While Constitution is the supreme law of the Republic and the land, all power of the Republic belong to the people, and that is Article 7, which is the pole star of our Constitution. One of the main distinguishing features of the Constitution of Bangladesh, which is one of the best constitutions in the world, is, as has been laid down in the judgment of Dr. Muhyiddin Farooq versus Bangladesh, 49 DLR Appellate Division 1, Para 41, I quote, "The Constitution of Bangladesh is not the outcome of a negotiated settlement with a former colonial power, nor drawn up with the concurrence or approval of any external sovereign power. It is the fruit of a historic war of independence, which is the distinctive feature of our Constitution. And therefore, the Constitution must be seen in a context of our 24 years long struggle from 1948 to 1971. And it must be seen, read, interpreted and understood in the context of the clarion call made by our father of the nation on 7th March 1971, and also in the context of the pronouncement and the statement of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, on the early hours of 26 March 1971, where he said, quote, "This may be my last message. From today, Bangladesh is independent," unquote. And it is in this context that we liberated our country. We have an independent Bangladesh, a sovereign country in the world, and we have our Constitution of 1972. And in this Constitution, within the framework of this Constitution, the public interest litigation has slowly developed and grown within our own jurisprudence. One of the basic rationales of public interest litigation and of judicial review should be understood that it is exercised with insight into social values to supplement the changing social needs, to remove the existing social inequalities or imbalances that exist, and to readjust the social order through the rule of law. And this was stated in a judgment in AIR 1993 Supreme Court. One of the major debates and one of the major controversies at the initial stage was with relation to locus standi, who can file a public interest litigation. And it has been held that no rigid rule of locus standi can be applied to public interest litigation. Any person acting bona fide and having sufficient interest in maintaining an action for judicial redress for public injury to put the judicial machinery in motion can come forward and file a public interest litigation. It is now also established that the writ petition may be moved not only by an aggrieved individual, but by a public-spirited citizen or a social action group for enforcement of fundamental right of some other person, provided that such other person is unable to approach the court for redress owing to some particular reason of poverty or disadvantage. Such persons belong to a class or a group of persons who are in disadvantaged position on account of poverty, disability, and other social or economical impediment and are unable to enforce their rights. সংবিধানে যে মৌলিক অধিকারগুলো সন্নিবেশিত আছে সেগুলোর বাস্তবায়ন ঘটানোর ক্ষেত্রে সমাজের পিছিয়ে পড়া যে জনগোষ্ঠী তাদের স্বার্থ যখন বিঘ্নিত হয় বা তাদের মৌলিক অধিকার যদি কোনো কারণে ক্ষুণ্ণ হয় তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে তার প্রতিকার পাওয়ার যে অধিকার সে বিষয়টি নিয়ে যে কোনো সচেতন ব্যক্তি বোনাফিড ইন্টারেস্ট নিয়ে জনস্বার্থে রিট মামলা দায়ের করতে পারে। এটাই হচ্ছে পাবলিক ইন্টারেস্ট লিটিগেশনের মূল জায়গা। অর্থাৎ সমাজের পিছিয়ে পড়া, যারা শোষিত, বঞ্চিত এবং নানা ধরনের বৈষম্যের শিকার, তারা যখন অধিকার বঞ্চিত হয় সেই অধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠার ক্ষেত্রে পাবলিক ইন্টারেস্ট লিটিগেশন একটা প্রেরণক হিসেবে অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করতে পারে এবং সেই পালন করেই এই জুরিসপ্রুডেন্স তৈরি হয়েছে। It is when courts are apprised of gross violation of fundamental rights of a group, or when basic human rights are invaded, or when there are complaints of such acts as shock the judicial conscience, that Supreme Court leaves aside the procedural shackles and hears such petition for remedying the hardships and miseries of the needy and the underdog and the neglected. তো সেই কারণে সবচেয়ে যে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বিষয় যে সেই কারণে এই locus standi has been extended and it allows any conscious citizen to come and uphold the rights. But there was a decision in Bangladesh Sambadpatra Parishad case where it was emphasized that it has to be an aggrieved person within the meaning of Article 102. But subsequently, in Dr. Mohiuddin Farooq versus Bangladesh case, this Shangbadpatra case was distinguished as a separate case because of its own facts, and the scope for filing public interest litigation and locus standi was opened up and extended further. And it was said in Mohiuddin Farooq's case that when a public injury or public wrong or infraction of a fundamental right affecting an indeterminate number of people is involved, it is not necessary in the scheme of our constitution that multitude of individuals have to file writ. Article 102, but as it concerns public wrong or injury, any number of people or any member of public being a citizen suffering the common injury, espousing the particular cause, is a person aggrieved and has the right to invoke the jurisdiction under Article 102. এবং aggrieved person definition bhetore any person having sufficient interest was included, and it was expanded, and this is how the public interest litigation paved its way forward. In Bangladesh, the judiciary has made enforced fundamental rights through a number of public interest litigation and has made remarkable strides in ensuring the rights of the people. The aim being to ensure social justice and redress the grievances of deprived and downtrodden, and protecting the rights of the people, like the slum dwellers. যে বস্তি উচ্ছেদের মামলাতেও পাবলিক ইন্টারেস্ট লিটিগেশনের মাধ্যমে তাদেরকে প্রোটেকশন দেওয়ার নজির রয়েছে। Public interest litigation has also been instrumental in protecting environment, like in cases of industrial pollution, river pollution, payment of compensation in development projects, unlawful filing of floodplain zones, etc. But I want to make one point, that environmental protection and for ensuring environmental protection, public interest litigation has been very instrumental and very effective, and it has been able to brought about the desired results of ensuring that protection in Bangladesh and in India. And as we see that Mr. Mehta has himself administered many landmark cases, like the Taj Mahal, the Ganga, and many more, child labor issues and many more. But I would like to emphasize that while the public interest litigation has rooted and has grown as an instrument to protect environment, we should not only confine it for environmental protection, but this can be used to vindicate the right of the disadvantaged wherever they are affected. It may be for food adulteration, it may be for ensuring safe drinking water, it may be for ensuring proper services in the health sector to the people which violate their fundamental rights. So public interest litigation has a much broader spectrum within which environment is of course an important component. Now it is important for us to, as we stand here today, we are familiar with this concept of public interest litigation, and also the difficulties and challenges were there when it was first started. But now we have overcome that. So now, having achieved so much, where do we go from here? Public interest litigation must not open floodgates and allow the jurisprudence built around it get diluted. So that is something of concern which we must bear in mind. But I strongly feel that it is the pledge of our constitution that realization through a democratic process of a socialist society free from exploitation, a society in which rule of law, fundamental human rights and freedom, equality and justice, economic, social, political, would be ensured for all. This is the pledge of our constitution, and public interest litigation should continue to be instrumental in vindicating the rights of the individuals to attain this goal which is in our constitution. Judiciary has a major role to play and must continue its efforts in taking rights seriously and bringing about the desired and pledged social change. Public interest, let us see public interest litigation as a commitment. Let us see it as for a noble cause and also for ensuring social justice. And one Another point I would just like to flag before I conclude. Globalization may pose new challenges. While we have been able to establish PIL for vindicating our rights, for social justice, for environment and for other public interest causes, there may be new emerging areas where we may need to invoke public interest litigation. For example, in the energy sector, or many more, which will come up in the future. The judiciary and the lawyers and human rights activists will have to be conscious about this fact. So let us all come together and ensure the social justice and the pledge of our Constitution, make it a reality, the fundamental rights for the people and for all on equal terms. I will conclude with the words of a renowned scholar and jurist. It is justice, not charity, that is wanting in the world. Thank you all. May Bangladesh live forever.